Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chan. So last night on live, we talked about the Nene leak show featuring Latasha Scott. Now, I think as we saw clips and everything, for the most part, we've already heard most of this story. So I will only be touching on things that are interesting to me, and I hope they're interesting to you. So let's get into it. So they was talking about weight, fitness, image, and all of that. She was saying how she was glad that they didn't have social media when they had come along. She said that her and Tamika sang in church, and Candy, I guess, visited their church, and I guess she mentioned about a girl group, and Tamika met Tiny in middle school, and she wanted to add her to the group. So that's how Tiny got into it. And so they would just go around and do music in Atlanta, and their first performance was on Teen Summit. So she was telling Nene, like, she got her start in church and she knew she moved people. Nene said, I don't know y'all like that, but you got the biggest voice of them all and your throat is crazy. Now that was a compliment, but Nene is certifiably insane. Child, so they got to talking about their kids, right? So she said she has a son, he's 27, he plays basketball or whatever, right? And then Nene said, I have a younger son that's 25. Tasha said, you have two. She said, yes. She said, my oldest son is 32. She wasn't going to even talk about Bryson. Wait a minute. Did we know that Nene's baby son had a baby? She said, this is his first baby. He got a little girl. We didn't know that. How many grandkids Nene got now? 3? So she said the residuals challenge. Latasha said that it was more than her singing and getting her sentiments out. She said it actually brought her and her sister back together because they haven't talked in a minute, and they talked after this. So, yeah. We talked about this particular part on live when she said that she found out from somebody in SUV that they were going on tour. And she said she got a letter drafted from her lawyer to send to them, and she never heard anything back, right? Why not just pick the phone up and call Tamika? Like, Latasha, this is why people say you're the problem. Why would you just not call your sister? It's your sister. It may be your bandmate in the business, but when it comes down to it, it's your sister. And Tamika always comes off as if she is willing to have a conversation. You are the problem, ma'am. Child, so Latasha let us know that in that residual challenge, when she said wasted 30 years or 30 years down the drain or whatever, she was talking about escape and not Rocky. And then when Nene asked her about the alleged baby, she said there was no baby. And people just go, run with a narrative. But word on the curb is it was a baby until Rocky had talked her into not having the baby. I'm going to leave that right there. Let's keep going. Child, Nene asked her how long was she married. She said 30 years. Now 30, and then she talking about 30 going down the drain. I don't know what she talking about. But Nene said, so your husband is your son's father. Yes, Nene. He's been her manager. Yes. Now, she talking about all that stuff that went on with Rocky. Is there a baby? Is there not a baby? She said, where is my sister? And then Nene sitting over here talking about your sister should rock with you. Nene, Latasha is the problem. I feel deep down in my soul that if Tamika, like, she didn't tell you that her and her mama was at a party, and when Tamika came in, the mama and her left. This is the problem, Nene. She does not want it. And honestly, what does Latasha want? That's what I would ask her. That's a good question. Nene flat out asked her if her husband stole from the group. She flat out told Nene that no, he didn't. Let's keep going. Now, Tasha just sat up here and talked to Nene about her sister, right? Like, where is my sister? Nene talking about you should be rocking with your sister. And at this moment, they're talking about her mom. And she said she and her mom are real close. And Nene says, can your mom help you and your sister mend your fences, right? Mend, you guys. She said, yeah, because she's trying. She was like, because my sister stopped talking to me and she stopped talking to everybody. First of all, Nene, why is she talking about her sister? Why is she talking about Tamika? Tamika does not come out here and talk about Latasha ever. And correct me if I'm wrong. Has Tamika ever come out and talked about Latasha? Other than the time Latasha has come out and talked about her. So that means we're going to have to listen to Tamika by Sunday. We're going to hear something from her in this situation right here. She's sitting here talking about her sister, Nene. She is the problem. So Latasha has a clothing line. She has her own label. And she has signed herself to herself. And she said, that is her making sure she does what she needs to do. I don't know how that's going to play out, but that's what she says she's done. I'm almost done. This right here just really got me. Nene asked her, like, what would it take for you to get back with Escape? She said for them to talk to me. Y'all, correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm for real. I feel like Candy, Tiny, and Tamika don't have a problem talking to Latasha. Latasha was the one that sent a letter from her lawyer to ask them about a tour when she could have just picked up the phone and called. You understand what I'm saying? Like, she act like those three ladies just not talking to her. And she's not talking to them. Oh, my goodness. So then Nene asked the question, and I'm done with this part. Does Tiny own Escape? She said, no, I own Escape. And Nene was like, wait a minute, let me turn around in my chair because what's going on? She said, I know everybody is asking me, what am I doing? Because they're not supposed to be using the name. But then she lets Nene know that Tamika is on it. So if Tamika's in the group, you can use the name, right? Latasha is the problem. Let's keep it moving. So, honey, now we are here with Deasia. This is one of my favorite blogs because they were the first to ever feature me. If you know, you know. Let's get into it. Child, so Nene was saying that sometimes, she doesn't go get into it with the blogs or whatever. But she said that sometimes it's only been a couple times she's reached out for them to take something down, and they tell her usually give it 24 hours and it'll go away. But Dee said that there have been a couple of peaches that have been in their DMs and it gets pretty nasty. And she also said that they fact check. So that's really good. So Dee said that they're not a clickbait blog, right? Then Nene said that she feels like some of the stories are wrong and she feels like they pick on people. She said we don't pick on people. It's more like fun shade. I don't think Nene really agreed with that. Child, she said that Kenyon jumped in the inbox and does not like the fact that she posts explicit pics that she did not do is being used in the title when speaking of her. She's upset about that. But Dee was like, it came from Page 6, it came from E! News, and it came from other places. So why is she over there in their inbox? Kenya has been busy because it's a lot of people talking about her. She also said that she feels like some of the housewives think that the neighborhood talk are their publicists because they'll say, I don't like this, I don't like that. And right now, Kenya doesn't like her picture being posted next to Britt. But Kenya, you and Britt are the hottest topics right now. Everybody's posting you all's pictures together. So Nene said that, she understands what Kenya is talking about. But she said this, Kenya's a vet, Britt is a newcomer. And if you kind of don't put their picture together, people may not know what's going on, right? And she also said that this season will be very interesting now that Kenya is gone. And she is willing to bet that that's why they brought Phaedra in to amp up the season because Kenya is a fire starter. And now there's no one there to start a fire. What do you think about that? Nene's being real shady. When Dee asked her if you had an event, who would you rather sing, Candy or Ashley? Nene said Ashley. That's the biggest shade of the century. Child, Nene had to take a drink when Dee asked her, did she feel like Simon and Portia was a real thing? And then when she asked her, do you feel like Portia loves Simon? Nene continued to drink. But when she asked her, does Simon love Portia? Nene said, yes. Just like that. What tickled me is when Dee asked her about Portia and Simon, Nene said, is this a game? Do I need to plead the fifth? Right? But let me know what you think about this. Are you in for the Nene Leakes show? Did you watch it? Do you enjoy it? Are you going to continue it? Let me know what you think about it. It's your girl, Millie Chun. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.